Meet John, a hardworking delivery driver who makes an honest living. Every day he puts in long hours making deliveries, battling traffic and insatiable customers to make ends meet. Despite his efforts, John feels he'll never be able to build the level of wealth he desires. I only make a couple bucks per hour, he thinks. How can I ever afford the life I want? How can I ever become rich? Welcome to Fun Financial Insight, a channel where we make learning about finance fun and accessible for everyone. In today's episode, we'll be learning 3 simple steps on how you can be rich and live your dream lifestyle. So many of us are like John. We see getting rich as something that's solely about constantly chasing the bag. Might not be in making deliveries like John, could be reaching a sales target or taking extra shifts. All these aim at securing the bag at the end of the month. What if I told you that John's daily routine holds the key to his financial freedom, and with a few simple changes, he can turn his few bucks into a fortune? These changes you can also use. Now, John is aware he doesn't need to kill his dreams of being extremely rich because of his job limitations, but how can he get rich? Well, in simple words, 3 simple rules of Warren Buffett. It's no news to many that Warren Buffett is a successful investor and business tycoon. Buffett and investment are tied to the hips. There's barely a mention of Buffett and no mention of investment or stocks. Now, before you discard the video saying you don't have enough money to invest, or how will someone like John invest? Let me tell you that Warren Buffett's 3 simple rules for investing are not just for the wealthy. In fact, they're principles that anyone can apply, regardless of their income level. So, without further ado, let's dive into Warren Buffett's 3 simple rules for investing and how you can use them to get rich. The first step in Warren's 3 rule is understanding the business behind the stocks or investments. When looking up the market to determine what catchy offer the market has in store for you, you need to understand that it goes beyond numbers and charts. It has more to do with the products, people, services, and many more that make up the heart of the company. Let's say John is ready to own some stocks and is pretty happy about it, as someone has told him that this makes him rich. Let's view the 3 companies he plans to buy stocks and make an informed decision for him. Every morning before John sets out to make deliveries, he must take a cup of coffee from a branch of his coffee shop near his office. The coffee shop uses purely organic ingredients and has a wide range of customer base as judged by John. Because every morning there's a queue so long, one will think people got a lottery ticket for each coffee they buy. The tech industry is becoming one of the fastest growing industries in the world, so John has heard. Without wanting to be left out, he decided to invest in a tech company. Instead of aiming for already established big shot tech companies, he decides to go with a startup. Now, this startup has a patented technology that's cost-effective and more efficient than existing renewable energy technologies. The estimated growth rate is promising as it has the potential to disrupt the market with its innovative technology. Warren Buffett once said, "If you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes." Now, this retailer has a strong brand and loyal customer base, but it is losing market share to online retailers. He's also struggling to keep up with the change in customers' preferences. With all these challenges, the company is definitely struggling to stay afloat. So, using the following metrics provided by Warren: competitive advantage, customers and needs, competitors and differentiation, growth potential, and risk. Which of the companies would you advise John to buy stocks from? Drop your answer in the comment section down below. Okay, so you've made it this far in the video. That means you're closer to making the wealth you dream of than at the beginning of this video. Hey, don't forget to like and share with people who love to be rich. Let's move on to rule number 2, emotion control to market fluctuation. Let's say John decided to invest in the tech startup company for starters. Due to the indices, the company seems to be in good shape, and according to stock investment experts, the stocks are sure to keep rising. In a couple of months or years, the company's stock price has been rising steadily. John is feeling really good about this. Who wouldn't? He decided to buy more stocks as the market seemed really good, and he went to bed daydreaming of how the life he envisioned was so close. But like an unpleasant taste in the mouth, there's a sudden hit on the country's economy and the stock prices begin to drop. And just like that, John's dream becomes a nightmare. It is easy for him to panic in this situation, especially after buying additional stocks due to yesterday's performance. But if you were John, you might be tempted to sell off your stocks and cut your losses. But wait a second before you do that, okay? Before investing, you must have done your research and discovered the track records of the company that convinced you to go for it. That is why instead of selling it, it is better to ride out the market situation. Imagine you're an artist. Creating a masterpiece is something that would take you a while. It definitely can't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and practice. That's the same with investing, and you can't expect to make a fortune overnight. It takes time, patience, and discipline. So when the market gets bumpy, do not freak out. Rather, take a sigh of relief and remember what your long-term objectives are, okay? Why did you start investing in the first place? Is it about your future self or your loved ones' lives? Does it involve gaining financial independence or being on the side of changemakers? Let's move on to Rule 3, maintaining margin of safety. Investing is not about taking unnecessary, uncalculated risks or chasing after the next big thing, hottest stocks. It's more about taking calculated risks and making smart and well-thought-out decisions that could protect and grow your wealth over time. So let's see it in the light of a baker running a small bakery. All right, the baker owns an oven that has a maximum capacity of baking 100 loaves of bread at a time. To ensure quality and efficiency, the baker decides to bake 80 loaves at a time, thereby leaving a margin of safety of 20 loaves. The capacity of the oven being 100 loaves represents the maximum potential output akin to the total budgeted or actual sale volume of a business. Just like how the baker only bakes 80 loaves at a time instead of 100 loaves, which is the maximum capacity. In investments, it's important to maintain a safe margin. By leaving a safety margin of 20 loaves, you're ensuring that you have room for unexpected variation in the demand on the market. Now, you'll want to build your wealth on a solid foundation of safety, just like building a house on concrete instead of sand. How can you and John maintain that safe margin in your investments? Well, here's a few tips. Diversify your portfolio. One should not put all his eggs in the same basket. Rather, distribute your investments among different sectors, asset classes, and geographical areas. This is how one can maximize risks and maximize returns in the long run. Focus on quality. Invest in companies with strong fundamentals, a proven track record, and clear growth strategies. Look for well-established firms and have a good brand name and industry leadership. Be patient. It takes time to build wealth, so expect some ups and downs along the way. Oh, and don't be discouraged by market fluctuations, but rather remain committed to your plan with an eye towards the future. Investors can figure out the margin of safety by using this formula. Margin of safety equals intrinsic value minus market price divided by intrinsic value. So, for instance, if a company has a market price of $80 and an intrinsic value of $100, then its margin of safety would be $20 divided by 100 equals 0.2 or 20%. With time, such principles as the margin of safety can help investors preserve and grow wealth. This is a basic idea that aids investors in taking on investing's intricate and uncertain environment. Warren Buffett's observation, quote, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing," implies that when it comes to investing, knowledge equals lesser risk. Therefore, educating yourself about investing as well as keeping abreast of market trends is essential because ignorance is tantamount to running great risks. Let's have a chat. Now, I want to know what you think. Among the rules of making money, what is the one that speaks to you personally? Let us know by leaving a comment below which rule seems easy or tough for you to follow. Also, be aware that your observations might provoke useful debates and steer people through their efforts to become rich. So I really look forward to hearing your responses. Now, building wealth requires these three important rules because they act as the basis for making informed investment decisions. According to Warren Buffett, you can't take out one leg or rule because you will be sabotaging your chances of having a great investment portfolio. These 3 rules work together, and you can add more as you research further, but they should be your foundation. If investors understand the business, control their emotions, and understand safety, then you'll be able to make intelligent choices that shield and increase their wealth with time. It might be possible to become rich even if one ignores these rules. However, such a path would be harder and riskier. For instance, an individual may invest in a hot stock without any knowledge about the company or its financials. This move could turn out lucky if the share price rises, but it is also highly dangerous because it exposes them to unnecessary risks that can lead to losing everything in case prices fall down again. Conversely, anybody who adheres to these instructions when investing in an enterprise that has a competitive advantage over other firms within its industry, meets customers' needs better than anyone else, differentiates itself from competitors in some ways, shows potential for growth while effectively managing risk, among other things, will more likely achieve consistent returns over time, thereby accumulating sustainable wealth. Now, following Warren Buffett's 3 rules of becoming rich, John is now crossing towards financial freedom. He has become knowledgeable and confident enough to make investment decisions by understanding the business behind stocks, not allowing emotions to influence him, and playing safe in investing. But this journey of John has just begun, and there are still lots more to come up with. Do you want to be like John? Well, if you decided to start your investment journey that will lead to wealth creation for yourself and your loved ones, then it's high time you took action. To get all the newest tips regarding investments and fun financial insights, subscribe and turn on that notification bell to be notified immediately we upload a new video. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, as well as share this video with friends and family members. And as a result, we can all build a better financial future, one investment after another. Now, what else are you waiting for? Let us kick off a money-making journey for ourselves.